Today we're going to learn how to play Skinny by Billie Eilish on the piano. Make sure to download the free music in the description so you can follow along. So what we're going to learn in this video is first we're going to go through all the chords of the entire song, and then we're going to go back and apply different patterns to them. And then we're going to go over the whole thing in the key of C so you can learn how to play it in any key. So the intro has A major 7 and F sharp minor 7. So A major 7 is 1, 3, 5, 7 in the key of A, which is the key that we're in. F sharp minor 7 has 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. So you might notice that there's a lot of overlapping notes here, so this gives us an opportunity to voice lead, meaning finding the closest inversion. So there are a lot of ways you can do that. You can do, this is a nice voicing of a major 7 chord. So you've got the flat 7, or sorry, the 7, the 3, and the 5. So the easiest way to find that is to find the triad, just an A major chord, and move your thumb down a half step. The cool thing here, if you want to find the F sharp minor 7, is then you can just move the bass. So now you got F sharp in the bass, and use this hand to do flat 3, 5, flat 7. So you only have to move one thing. So that's a good maneuver for this song. And then we have B minor 7. So we can do the same kind of voicing. So take that B minor triad, and since it's a minor 7, you have to move your thumb down a whole step. So you've got the 1, flat 7, 3, and 5. And then we've got an E dominant 7. So we've got 1, 3, 5, and flat 7. Okay, so the chorus is the same 1 major 7, A major 7, 6 minor 7, which is F sharp minor 7. But this time, we're going to stay on that 2 minor 7. Instead of going to the 5, we're going to hold it that whole time. And then we're going to do this cool chromatic approach here to the 3 minor 7. And then we're going to go up even another half step to take us into a really weird chord. Okay, so this is what that sounds like. And I still cry. Still cry. So this D minor 7 here is borrowed from a different key. You can hear that that's kind of outside of the key. So it's actually the 4 minor chord, which is a very common borrowed key, but the way that she's approaching it there doesn't sound familiar to me, really. I think there's something about coming in from chromatic approach that just sounds different. Usually what you'll hear is like a 1 chord, and then a 4 chord, and then a 4 minor. So like that, you might recognize that sound a little better, but that's kind of a cool use of it. Then when you get to the bridge, you're going back and forth between 2 minor 7 and 3 minor 7. So that is B minor 7 and C sharp minor 7. So I'm using the take the triad, move the thumb down voicing. You can also do that inverted. So here we have, let's say this is a B minor triad, second inversion. Move the root of the chord, since you already have it in the bass, move that down a whole step. Another way to look at this, if you want to make it a little easier on yourself, it's technically a D chord over B. So whenever you see D over B, that's actually kind of a lie. It's a B minor 7 chord. It's 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. So you could look at it like that if you wanted to. So let's do with the easy voicing. So we're doing root position triads. Now moving the thumb down in both cases. So B minor 7, C sharp 7, C sharp minor 7. I never did you wrong. My patience is gone. Okay, so I don't remember if they do this or how often they do this, but you can do like a nice chromatic approach here where you actually take the whole entire chord and go from your starting chord to your target chord chromatically, which means everybody up a half step. Or you can look at it like you're doing B minor 7, C minor 7, C sharp minor 7. So even though C sharp is not part of the key, you hear if I hang on this, it sounds really nasty. That is not the key we're in. That's not okay. But it's okay if you're passing. So you go, it sounds kind of jazzy. You can throw those in wherever you want here. Like if you wanted to be obnoxious, you could do them every single time. Or you could be tasteful and throw in one or two. It's up to you. My patience is gone. I never did you wrong. I loved you for so long. And then there's this instrumental section at the end. The melody is interesting because it's outlining some hybrid chords. So you got like a G chord, but the melody is playing an F sharp minor triad. So it's almost like F sharp minor over G, which is a lot jazzier than you'd think. When you play it all together, you realize how funky it is. So it's 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 9, sharp 11, F sharp minor over G kind of. But you're just playing that in the melody. And then it's D major. And now you've got like an A major triad over D. And then an A. So this is like what the strings are playing there. You can figure that out. If you listen to the recording, you can probably figure out that whole melody, but I'll tell you what the chords are. So it's G, D, A, another bar of A, and then G, D, F sharp, B, and then D major 7. So that'll be your challenge, is figuring out the melody that goes over those chords. You can take a look at the lead sheet. There are some hints, but you also got to figure out some of these melodies on your own. So now let's go over what the pattern is that they're doing. So those are the notes that they're kind of focusing on, which is really cool because those are actually called guide tones. Guide tones are the 3 and the 7 of any chord. So we're in the key of A, we've got the 1 chord, we've got the 1 in the bass, and we've got, you can hear that already is good enough. You don't even have to add any more notes. These usually by themselves are enough to fill out the chord because those are the 2 notes that decide the quality of the chord. For instance, if we wanted, let's move to C for a second. So here's a C major 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. If I play just the 3 and the 7, it feels good enough. You get the gist, you get the feeling. Here's a C minor 7. That's 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. If I play just the 3 and the 7, you get the gist of that too. You don't really need this 5. Here's a C dominant 7. 1, 3, 5, flat 7. If I play just the 3 and the 7, you get the gist. So that was a little detour from what we were talking about, but this is really good to know because you can play just the guide tones sometimes and it's going to sound really good. Okay, so since this song is played with a interesting syncopated guitar accompaniment, I wanted to go over how to kind of fake that on the piano, but then we can also talk about other ways to play it so that it's easier to do coordinating between piano and your voice if you're singing. So the guitar player is leaning on those guide tones. This is kind of the pattern. The reason it's hard to play is because it's very syncopated, meaning it's not like directly on the beats. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so that's probably a little hard to play while you're singing. If you're super coordinated, you might be able to do that. Fell in love for the first time. With a friend is a good sign. Feeling off when I feel fine. 21 took a lifetime. So you can apply other patterns to this. Let's go really simple, like right on the downbeats. 2, 3, 4. Fell in love for the first time. With a friend, it's a good sign. Feeling off when I feel fine. 21 took a lifetime. People say I look happy just because I got skinny. But the old me is still me, and maybe the real me, and I think she's pretty. So you can feel that it's a different vibe, but if you're playing by yourself, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's totally up to you, like what the vibe is that you want to do. So now you know how to apply both those patterns. We're just going to focus on the actual chords that are happening here. So let's do this in the key of C so you can really understand the function of every chord. So 1 major 7, 6 minor 7, which is very normal to do, 2 minor 7, 5 dominant 7. So that's actually a 2-5, 2-5-1. That's the verse. Chorus, same thing. 1 major 7, 6 minor 7, 2 minor 7, dominant. Oh, this time it's 2 minor 7 staying, and then chromatic approach to 3 minor 7, and then sneaky up to 4 minor 7. So if you want to sing it in a different key, this is helpful. You can do this in any key if you know your chords. So let's say this song is just a little bit high for you and you want to do it in the key of G, which is easy because it only has 1 sharp. So we know it's 1 major 7, 6 minor 7, 2 minor 7, 5 dominant 7. And I still cry, still cry. So that was Skinny by Billie Eilish. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, don't forget to download the free sheet music in the description. Thanks for watching.